time to watch some TV, get comfortable on your couch, grab a snack or a drink, and let's see what decisions people are making today.
Whatever, I do what I want.
Oh, he's such a cutie.
Well, ma'am, let me say this. If the whole idea of taking the picture is to confirm that the man that took the test is the man in the picture, and when you saw the picture, you're saying that's not Xavier Thigpen.
Yes, sir. But what I'm also saying is that this is a local town where they are, like I said, very well-known people. And it took us forever for him to get served. And I'm not saying that he was avoiding it, but you work at the sheriff's office. It took us forever for him.
Yeah, he's in law enforcement, so they know how to weasel it. And I've seen situations like that in my real life as well, with other people that I know that, had some form of another paternity issue or some type of domestic issue. And because the man worked in law enforcement, he was able to get away with a lot of things he should not have been able to get away with.
Him to be served.
Okay.
I don't know if you were avoiding it. You were aware that I was doing this because I text you multiple times about it. And it's just, I don't know.
No, I understand, ma'am. So when you say local town stuff, he's well known, you're talking about where he's located now.
Yes.
And what local town is that now?
Anywhere in the city of in the county of Jones County, Laurel, Hebron, anywhere in that area, that is where he's from. And he went to college in Mississippi.
Mississippi.
And he went to college up the road at Southern Miss in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. So.
Okay. All right. So you're questioning the validity of the test.
Yes.
Absolutely.
All right. Okay. Thank you. I don't have any other questions. So what you're asking is for a test that you can confirm that Mr. Thigpen does actually submit to. That you're asking for what you believe you need a valid test.
Yeah.
Period.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, it was him, the one that's saying that he has the belief that he's not the father. So if you believe that, why would you not go and give a valid test?
Right. I got you. Okay.
That wasn't my request. I know who the father is.
Right.
All I'm asking was for assistance, and he's the one that's, doing all these extra things to where we have to prolong everything. If you don't want to take care of your child, then just say that, and I'll just dead all of this, and I won't even worry about it because it's getting to the point where it's a headache.
Okay, Ms. Bernard. Thank you. All right. Ms. Lee, do you have any questions for Ms. Bernard?
No, Your Honor, no further questions for this witness.
Okay, Mr. Thigpen, can you hear me okay?
You don't always see this side of, having children out of wedlock. They usually try to make it seem, glamorous and, your baby daddy, my baby mama, and make it seem like something you would want to go after. But she's not the only one going through things like this. There's another side to having children out of wedlock, and it's not pretty. And that's not the side they want to show people. They want to show them the side of, we're doing a gender reveal. We so in love, until you're not. And then you don't know how to separate your business, and doing things the right way from your feelings.
I think you got it on mute. Yeah, you got to unmute yourself. There you go.
Loud and clear.
Okay. Do you, since you're representing yourself at this point, Mr. Thigpen, I need to make sure I give you the opportunity. Do you have any questions for Ms. Bernard at this point?
No, I do not.
Okay. I'm going to give you your opportunity to speak, Mr. Thigpen. Do not worry. I've got to follow the procedure. And normally, if you had a lawyer in this procedure, your lawyer would be able to question Ms. Bernard. And that's why I asked you if you had any questions for Ms. Bernard. So your answer is no, you don't have any questions at this point.
Correct. And as I told in the last session, I do have a lawyer, and that's the one who advised me DNA test need to be on file. So
I want to give you your chance. I mean, you're sitting here telling me I'm not the father. I want to test, and I'm agreeing that you should get tested. All right? Do you understand that?
Yes, sir. Okay.
But I've got the mother, Miss Bernard, saying that that's not him in the picture. So that makes her lend to believe, as the court, that someone other than you took the test, because that's the picture that's attached. So I get it when you admit, I'm glad you did. You were honest. You're law enforcement. You're not going to lie under oath. So I
Integrity.
appreciate that you under oath said, I win. I was there. They took the picture. This picture is not me. They've got the wrong picture. Okay, I get it. I understand. So you understand we're just trying to get to the right, correct result. You understand that, Mr. Thickpen?
Yes, sir. Correct.
All
I
right.
understand. That's why I said,
Okay.
like, I know the court.
So what are you trying to say, that you and your brother got paternity issues? He was there for something totally different. They took the wrong picture. That one's not me. And he's agreeing that's not him. So what is his brother doing there? Is he also trying to find out if he's the father of a child? And then not only that, but he's holding a paper with a number on it. Shouldn't the number on that paper correspond with the number that's on the child? Shouldn't they match? Regardless if you make a mistake with the photo, what about that number? And shouldn't that number be also on the swab or whatever that you did in order to get the DNA testing? Like, something ain't adding up. And why he act like he got so much going on sitting like this entire time? Like, he got so much going on. You ain't got nothing to go. Pay attention. This is your life. That's right, Shakira. We need to send you in. We need to send Shakira in.
Okay. Do you, since you're representing yourself at this point, Mr. Thickpen, I need to make sure I give you the opportunity. Do you have any questions for Miss Bernard at this point?
No, I do not.
Okay, I'm going to give you your opportunity to speak, Mr. Thickpen. Do not worry. I've got to follow the procedure. And normally, if you had a lawyer in this procedure, your lawyer would be able to question Miss Bernard. And that's why I asked you if you had any questions for Miss Bernard. So your answer is no, you don't have any questions at this point.
Correct. And as I told in the last session, I do have a lawyer, and that's the one who advised me DNA test need to be on file. So
I want to give you your chance. I mean, you're sitting here telling me I'm not the father. I want to test, and I'm agreeing that you should get tested. All right? Do you understand that?
yes, sir.
Okay. But I've got the mother, Miss Bernard, saying that that's not him in the picture. So that makes her to lend to believe, as the court, that someone other than you took the test, because that's the picture that's attached. So I get it when you admit, I'm glad you did. You were honest. You're law enforcement. You're not going to lie under oath. So I
Integrity.
appreciate that you under oath said, I win. I was there. They took the picture. This picture is not me. They've got the wrong picture. Okay, I get it. I understand. So you understand we're just trying to get to the right, correct result. You understand that, Mr. Thickpen?
Yes, sir. Correct.
All
I
right.
understand. That's why I said,
Okay.
like, I know the court had power to subpoena the video footage from the time I went in there. I went in there at 10 o'clock. I was a little late, probably like 10:17. Like, I went in there with just my ID, mask, just like the instructions said. So, like, as far as trying to throw my name up because I worked hard for who I am and what I've gotten in life, that's crazy.
Okay. Here's the problem, Mr. Thickpen.
That's crazy.
The problem you face right now is jurisdiction of this case is here in Matagorda County. Okay? Jurisdiction's here. This is where the child is. Okay? This is where
She's upset. Look how she looking. Look at the professionals on the screen. Look at the judge. Is he sitting around with his hand on his face like that at any point in time? I'm gonna pay attention. What about the court coordinator? Look at Victoria, the black and white Agasia looking person. Like, you in court, Sierra. I get it. You need to learn. People need to learn how to harness their emotions. I'm not saying you can't have emotions, but there's a time and place for everything, man. And right now, it's your word against his. And it sucks. It absolutely sucks. I'm with you there. I'm with you, Sierra. It sucks. But I'm also with Xavier. It sucks because he's saying that he did do it. And he doesn't like the fact that he's being blamed for something he didn't do. So now, who do you believe? Unfortunately, in this world, people tell lies. Very unfortunate. And who can know that desperately wicked heart of man but God? So it is what it is. But we put ourselves, a lot of the stresses that we have in our lives, we do them to ourselves. Because at no point in time should you have had a baby with this man that is not your husband. We got to do better. And I get it. It already happened. But what about all those who have not made these bad decisions yet? You need to continue to not make a bad decision, because you're going to have to reap the consequences of your decisions. We are our decisions.
Where the AOP was done, this is where the mother lives with the child. This is where the child was born. So jurisdiction is here. Do you understand that?
I understand, but Judge, by you even saying that, I didn't sign no paperwork in Matagora. The paperwork I signed was in Harris, and that was the birth certificate.
Okay. All right. So definitely jurisdiction. What I'm getting at is not.
Well, if you sign that birth certificate as Xavier, you are the father. I'm sorry. It is what it is. You are the father. Even if you're not the biological father, sir, you are the father. You are the finance. You are the finance ministry. You are the father. You are the legal father of this little boy. Now you work in law enforcement and you don't know you're not supposed to sign nothing. Why are you going through all this like pushing away? She already believes you're the father. Like she said, she did not ask for this blood test. You did. And why would you ask for a blood test to a baby that you already signed for? Clearly you thought it was your baby. What changed? Again, do not sign things until you get a blood test. First comes blood test, then comes signing.
In
You know BS? BS means like bull crap, or you curse. I'm not going to say those words. Yeah, blood test, sign. BS. That's the order.
Mississippi.
Okay.
Correct. So
right,
like
it's not in
bringing up
Jones
who
County.
I am is irrelevant. Right.
Right. It's not in Jones County. That happens to be where you live and where you work at this time. I get it. Okay. All right. So I'm asking you, is there anything else you want to tell the court at this time before I make a ruling on this case?
Just a comment, since like normal court proceeding, when your name get brought up, somebody's testimony, you have the right to clear things up. Or she brought something up about dropping the whole thing. You don't have to drop the whole thing, because in 2021 you told me to leave you and the child alone, and I've done that. And since then, now this is a brain like come about. So like it's befuddling, boy, I tell you. But I understand. I definitely understand.
Okay. All right. All right.
I don't know whether or not she said that, if she really said, leave me and the child alone. But I do find that a lot of women behave this way. And unfortunately, I see it a lot in the Black community. And shame on Black women. Shame on you in making selfish decisions that affect your children. Because while it might help you for him to leave you guys alone, because now you don't have to worry about the stress that he causes in your life, you just cause him, the child, to have an absentee father. How is that blessing your child? It's a curse not to have a father. And you just took his father from him pretty much. Why? So that you can live life good? So that you can be comfortable in your sins? That's not right. We should not behave that way. And a lot of times I also see when women talk about their children, they'll say, my child. If that's the father, how is it your child? It's your child. You should be saying our child. Be careful with your verbiage. Our child is what you should be saying every time you have to bring up something like that. But I hear my son, my daughter, my child, my. It takes two people to make that baby, right? You didn't make the baby on your own. And if you really feel like the child is all yours, then leave him completely alone. Leave his money alone. Leave alone the fact of having any form of visitation. Don't call him. Don't even talk about him bad behind his back. Talking about he don't do nothing for his child. Don't you have something to do with that? If he don't have nothing to do with his child, don't you have something to do with that? Has your behavior made it so that he don't want to come around? Even the Bible says that a man would rather hide in the corner of the rooftop than to be under the roof with a nagging woman. The Bible teaches you that. So you can't sit here and say it's the worst thing ever. No, it's people trying to avoid catching a case. People trying to avoid all that extra stress. But in the process of doing it, who are you hurting for real? The child is losing. The child is a loser because of the parents. Not the kind of loser that we talk about. I'm talking about they lost whatever is supposed to come along with having both parents. If the mother's absent, they lose that. If the father's absent, they lose that. It's not a blessing. It's not. Now, I personally am a child that did not grow up with a father. Not because my father was a deadbeat, but because my father was literally dead. He passed away of a heart attack at a young age. And it did not bless me. Yes, I was born in a marriage. None of my sisters and brothers are out of wedlock. My mother and father did it the right way, and he still dropped dead of a heart attack. That didn't bless us. We should have had a father. And unfortunately, the father was not there. I get it. He couldn't help it. But all those who are alive and well, and you have children, how dare you not be in your child's life? And women, how dare you block them from being in their children's lives? Let the child go live with their father. If you can't handle it, let the child live with their father then. You know? Do every other year or something like that. And then make it so that this year you live with me, next year you live with your father. And do it back and forth like that. I get it. I don't know. I'm just throwing out ideas. You know, but don't try to make it seem as though it's best for the child that the father gets out of your lives. That's not true. It's what's best for you because you don't want to put on your big girl panties and handle it due to the fact that you've made the bad decision as to who you spread your legs to. We have got to hold each other accountable, ladies. I know we try to do these girl power things and stuff like that. No, we need to hold each other accountable. We're moving reckless out here. And I say we because we're women. Because it wasn't me. I didn't do it. I don't have illegitimate children.
Okay. Ms. Lee, do you have any other witnesses to call?
No, Your Honor, no other witnesses.
Okay. Ms. Bernard, since you represent yourself, do you have any questions for Mr. Thigpen?
I'm sorry, Sierra. I hope you make better decisions.
No, not at the moment.
Okay, you've heard my questions for Mr.
No
Thigpen,
more illegitimate
right?
children.
Yes.
And you've heard Mr. Thigpen swear under oath that he did appear and he did take the picture and he did submit to the test. You heard him say that, right?
Yes.
And you've heard Mr. Thigpen acknowledge that that is not him in the photo and that somehow the test result is flawed because they attached the wrong photo to the test result, right?
Yes.
All right. Okay. Do you have anything else you want to tell the court at this time?
I just feel like this has been a really long, drawn out case. And for him to be the person to request for the DNA testing, and then we have to now receive this type of information, is just, I don't understand why we're having to continue to prolong it. You know what I mean?
Yes, ma'am.
And
Yes, here's the problem, Ms. Bernard. I'll explain it to you.
You know what, Sierra? What you need to do is have a perception change. I get it. It sucks. I totally get what you're saying. But you have to change your perception. And even though it sucks, say, I'm doing what is best for my child. When it's all said and done, I'm going to sleep at night. I'm going to stand before God and I'm going to say that I did everything I was supposed to do, God, after I made my bad decision. I then got on the right track and I did what I had to do so that my child can know who their father is. Even though it's an inconvenience to me, even though I can stand straight up and say, I did everything I could do. Now, whatever's on him is on him. You leave that alone. Don't add more stress in your life. But just change your perception or something to make it feel for as if though, make yourself feel and believe. Make yourself believe that you did everything you could. So just go ahead and do it. Submit to a new test. Be there in person. I get it. It sucks. It's too many times. But you're doing it for the well-being of your child. He can never come back to you again and say, that ain't my baby. If you guys go through with it and it shows that it's his child. I get it. You shouldn't have to do all that. I get it. But we live in a flawed world, a flawed society. And people make mistakes. And if he's telling the truth, that means someone made a mistake and put the wrong picture on there. His brother must be going through the same thing too. Which goes to show that they're not making wise decisions in life as to who they laying down with. Because you're in paternity court over and over again. It's ridiculous. But the perception change will help you. It'll help you be at ease within yourself. Look, I'm doing what I can do. It's all I can do. This is all I can do, and I'm going to do it. Instead of complaining, because complaining don't get you. You still got to go through it. So why go through and then have to complain and be upset? It's better just go ahead and go through with joy, with happiness. All because of the way you see it. It's perception. Change the perception for you, not for him, but for you.
First of all, I have patience. Do not lose your patience with this case.
Judge is nice.
We're going to get to the right result. Hang in there, and Mr. Thigpen hangs in there. But I've got a simple, very critical issue. The simple, very critical issue is I have you swearing absolutely there's no way anyone else could be the father except Xavier Thigpen. I have Mr. Thigpen swearing that he appeared for this test, and he showed up and he took the test, and he's swearing that that result should be right because he did take the test and he showed up, and he can't explain why his picture is not attached to the test. But it does make it look like if that's the person who they drew the test from, then the wrong person's results have been sent to us. Maybe that's a whole different person, a whole different test, and they've got it mixed up. So that tells me the whole thing's flawed. Mm-hmm. All right, do you understand? So here's what we're going to do. Are you ready for my ruling, Miss Bernard? Do you have anything else you want to tell me at this time?
I just want to know. So there was an issue maybe like over the summer where I asked him, since you don't want to help out with anything, could I just get Zion's last name changed? And he told me no, because obviously I can't do it on my own because he signed the birth certificate and all the paperwork. And so I just said, since you don't want to be a part of his life, can you just sign the document so they could get his name changed? If he felt so strongly that he's not the child, why didn't he let me change his last name?
Yeah.
Well, let me say this. First of all,
Judge, I even brought that up in the last session, Judge, if you remember that.
Hold on, Mr. Thigpen. I understand you want to say something, but let me help out here. Ms.
Wait
Bernard,
your turn.
we're not going to go there right now. Okay, just like I'm not going to go there when Mr. Thigpen wanted to raise the issue about, well, why did she tell me a long time ago not to be in his life? Now, I'm not saying what he's saying is true. I'm not saying what you're saying is true. I'm saying y'all have both gone off into the weeds on this. The only issue before this court right now is whether or not I'm going to rule at this time that Mr. Thigpen is the father, okay? Because I do have an AOP, and I could have ruled that way the last time. But when he brought up the request for the testing, we granted it. And now we come back with flawed results, okay? And someone else's picture. So I'm ready to rule. Here we go. This is my ruling. I do find I have jurisdiction in this case. And I have admitted State's Exhibit 1, which is showing a negative test result, but the picture of someone other than Mr. Thigpen as the person that took the test. So therefore, if I'm going to rely on that DNA test, it has to be reliable. And it's not, because there's questions still about whether or not a proper DNA test was done, or whether or not there was some type of a mix-up by the DNA test people, or whether or not some type of fraud was being committed. Okay? I don't know. So I know how I'm going to fix that. I'm going to order this case. I'm going to have this case reset for a date in person in Matagorda
Falling
County.
apart.
And
She looked like she's falling apart. She's hanging on by a thread over here. It's not good, man. It's not good. I don't like her body language.
at that reset date, I'm ordering the parties to both come and submit at that point in time in court to an in-person date to submit to DNA testing here in Matagorda County, where the court can supervise the paternity testing. So I'm ordering both parties to come to court on a specific date, submit to paternity testing here in Matagorda County. And that way, we're going to eliminate any funny business, any confusion. The court's going to supervise this testing and make sure that the testing is done here. where that way we see Mr. Thigpen.
That sounds like a good idea to me. What you guys think? Do you guys think that that's the best way to do it? She's trying to say that he's got pulled because he's in law enforcement. And if they go to a different county or something like that where there's no jurisdiction for him, he'll have a pull in this other area. Take it completely out of the way. And then not only that, but she can be there. She'll know that's him, not the brother. You know, like no more funny business. That sounds good. I get you've already gone through this before, and hopefully it's not out of her pockets. She won't be financially responsible for this. I mean, to a degree, it's going to affect her finances because you're going to need your gas in order to drive there. Excuse me. You're going to have to drive there. I don't know whether or not you have to leave work in order to do so. I don't know. But I do know that there's going to be some form of pull on your finances to have this done. But hopefully you won't have to pay for the testing. But I think this is this judge seems like a really nice guy. I think so.
Whatever, I do what I want.
Oh, he's such a cutie.